Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to show you how to drive on curvy roads today. As I'm approaching this curve, I'm just thinking to myself, like, there could be somebody stopped up here looking at the vehicle in front of me. I don't see their brake lights or anything, so that's also giving me an idea that there's probably nothing going on in the curve that I have to worry about. This is Waverly Road. Probably one of the funnest roads to drive on as far as curvy roads go. Here I'm going into this curve, just mindful of the fact that there could be something around the corner that I'm not expecting. I was driving through here when I was younger, and I came around one of these curves, and there was a car pulling out of a driveway. So I had to brake at the last second, and it was a panic stop, but nobody got hurt or anything. But it definitely scares you when that happens. So now when I go into a curve, I'm thinking like there's a chance somebody might be pulling out of a driveway or something like that. These are the most scenic roads to drive on too. Sometimes residents on these roads will put mirrors on the telephone poles outside of their driveway. As they're trying to pull out of their driveway, they can't see around the curve. So when they look at the mirror, it shows them if anyone's coming from around the corner. If I was going through this curve with way too much speed, and I've got all that G-force on the tires, if I hit the brakes, I'm a lot more likely to break traction and then lose control. And then the other thing is, if I'm going too fast, it's going to be a lot harder to steer. But if you never get yourself into a corner with too much speed, then you never have to worry about any of that stuff. Driving is all about seeing the big picture and thinking ahead. Just watching the brake lights on that car just to see if they light up. If I saw their brake lights light up, then I'd be thinking there's a chance I might have to brake. They might be reacting to something ahead of me. Sometimes you'll get cyclists on these roads and there's not a lot of room for you to go around them. The most important thing to remember is you'll feel a little bit of anxiety. You won't be sure what to do sometimes, but don't rush it. If you have to hang out behind the cyclist for a minute or so until you're sure you have a clear line of sight and then you can safely go around them, possibly go into the other lane a little bit, that's fine. Now there's a bike lane on this road, so it's a lot safer for everybody. So cars don't have to go out into the other lane to go around a cyclist with the chance of another car coming around the corner or something. So that bike lane on the right, you want to think of those as another traffic lane. So it's not a car lane, but it's technically a traffic lane because you can have people riding in that lane beside you. So if I was going to turn right up here, I can't just throw my signal light on and drive in without checking my shoulder. What I would do if I was going to turn here, I would check my mirror, then check my shoulder. My mirror is going to show me most of what's going on the side of the vehicle, and then the shoulder check is just double checking that small area where the blind spot is at the rear of the car. If you drive too fast through some of these corners, you can really scare the other motorists or pedestrians or something like that. And it's because they're seeing you suddenly, and at the same time you're going very fast, so it's like a double whammy. So that can really scare people. This road has a single yellow line, so I can legally use a portion of that other lane if I had to go into it to go around a cyclist, all I would have to do is throw my left signal light on, double check my shoulder, then I would go over, use as much of the lane as I need, and then come back to my lane. So I would signal and shoulder check to return to my lane. On a double yellow line, you can't legally do that, but you will come to some areas where there's no bike lane, you've got a cyclist, and you have no way to get around the cyclist without going into the other lane. Another thing to consider too, sometimes vehicles will come up to stop signs or the end of driveways and they won't actually stop. They'll just kind of roll and not even look. They'll just drive right out. So if I was driving, say, 10 kilometers an hour over the limit, I'm creating like one factor that could cause an accident, and then the other person's not stopping, they're just rolling out, and they're not going to see me, and I'm going faster. So that's like two factors. That's how accidents always happen. There's always more than one factor. See, this intersection here, you don't see the lights until the last second. So that's just another reason why being at the speed limit, it's a lot safer, but it makes your drive a lot funner too.